Hello, I've got my sister with me today. We're going to be reviewing the Doctor Who Christmas special that was on yesterday, because we're recording this on Boxing Day while I'm at the family's. Hence the Christmas hats and the festive drinks.
Drink responsibly.
Yes. So, yeah, yesterday, the Return of Doctor Mysterio. No, the Return of... Yeah, the Return of Doctor Mysterio. The Return of Doctor Mysterio was the Christmas special. Now, I'm not going to do this... I usually review old episodes of Doctor Who on, as you may know, the series Doctor Who Rebrief. So I don't usually do the modern episodes of Doctor Who, but we thought we just recorded a video for Holly's channel, so I'll put a card link on and down in the description or something for that, where we reviewed a Doctor Who book. This one, if you want to go read that, because Holly does a lot of reviews on her channel of books. So we thought we'd review the Doctor Who Christmas special while we were here. So, what did you think? General thoughts? Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, this will be spoilers. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was the first Doctor Who episode I've watched since the Robin Hood Doctor Who episode. So that's about a year ago.
I don't blame you for, at that point and that episode, going, I'm not watching this anymore, because that was a terrible episode, that Robin Hood episode.
I didn't even finish the episode. I got halfway through and went, and turned it off.
Yeah, that was not Doctor Who at its best.
No.
But you like this one?
I liked this one, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I quite liked it. And I didn't think I would. Because, honestly, the trailers looked rubbish. I thought the trailers looked incredibly cheesy and not very good at all. And I just thought, why are they doing... Why superheroes and Doctor Who? That just looks terrible. But also, at the same time, I was also thinking, well, a couple of years earlier, I had thought, oh, Santa and Doctor Who? That looks terrible. And actually, that episode was pretty good as well. So I kind of kept in the back of my mind that it might be okay. And it was. So that's good. Yeah. So overall, we liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
That's good. Did you have any particular things you liked about it? Any particular highlights?
I liked how they were very obviously ripping off comic books. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't... Like, they mentioned Spider-Man. Obviously, they had their Clark Kent comic... You know, Superman comic books and the stuff with the glasses. They mentioned it earlier on. So it wasn't like they were just using comic books and trying to not pay copyright, but you know what I mean? They weren't trying to, like, you know, like in TV shows where they have a pear on their laptop and Zev and Apple, and you're like, really?
They actually had Superman.
They actually had Superman in there.
You could see
they
the
actually...
Superman comics and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite good.
And again, with like the Batman reference and stuff like that, with the Batman voice and...
Yeah, and there were quite a lot of homages to classic superhero stuff, including... There was a nice homage to the first Superman movie where the reporter and the superhero have an intimate dinner on a rooftop, which is straight out of Superman 1 from the 70s, where Lois Lane meets with Superman on the top of a roof for an interview/intimate date. So that was definitely a homage to that, and I think even some of the lines were almost directly from that. I quite like that. It was clearly a homage rather than a ripping off, so people were meant to get that it was a reference. Yeah. And that, like you said, they were scattered throughout, and that was quite nice. I liked that. And I liked I didn't mind I didn't mind the explanation of why there was a superhero in the Doctor Who universe, because that was one of the things that I was worried about. I was like, okay, it's a science fiction show, but, you know, if there had been superheroes flying around, surely the Doctor would have
known by then.
Yeah.
And he did.
He's been to Earth quite a lot. But he knew, so that's good. So, because he caused it. The Doctor causes this by accidentally giving this little kid a gem, which the kid accidentally swallows, thinking it's medicine, and it turns him into a superhero, basically. But the Doctor's like, no, don't use these powers.
Yep.
And he thinks he hasn't until he turns up in New York one day and there's a superhero flying around. Yeah.
I also like the little jokes that you got with, like, the teenage boy having X-ray vision.
Yes.
And the levitation joke that was
just keeping his eyes down constantly. Oh yeah, the levitation joke when he looks at the girl he fancies. Suddenly rises.
Yeah, that was quite funny. And you know, the classic flying feet as well. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did.
Flying feet?
Did. I can't do it because I'm not in shop, but it's where you have one foot like this and you have one foot slightly bent with a pointed toe.
Oh, okay.
And that's how they tell you to fly if you're in harnesses, like on stage show and stuff. It's the classic flying position. So if you're being lifted up, it makes you look like you're flying instead of like a sack of potatoes. So that was quite funny.
Trained stage manager. Hence,
yeah.
That's why I don't know this stuff and she does. What else was there? I really liked the when the journalist lady, what was her name?
I don't remember her name either.
The journalist lady was interrogating the Doctor, and she brings out this little toy which squeaks.
And he
She
feels pain.
Yeah, she says it feels pain, and every time the Doctor lies to her or refuses to reveal something, she crushes it, and it makes this noise.
I thought it was a really nice substitute for violence, considering they're children's.
Yeah.
Because that's what that was meant to be, really, wasn't it? It was a substitute for.
Yeah, and the Doctor didn't like the sound of this inanimate object. It's pain. So he kind of just starts giving a little bit of information, and that's how she gets out stuff out of him. It's really cute, and it's really this little cute thing with fluffy hair. It's really funny. Is there anything you didn't like?
No, not really. I mean, the only thing that I didn't like is just what I kind of haven't been liking with the series in general overall is that it's a bit more childish than it was before. I feel like when it was David Tennant and the kind of those team of writers that worked together, it still kind of kept a darker kind of route. Still, like, even like obviously Christopher Eccleston was even darker, but it still kind of kept that very. Like, it felt like people died in that kind of one. Like, especially I'm thinking a lot of Christopher Eccleston in the first series that came back with New Who. It was a lot darker. Where I feel like in the episodes it all just feels a bit more like a joke.
That's interesting. Because I think generally the Stephen Moffat era is darker than the Russell T Davies era, the showrunner from before him. I think the storylines are much... like with the whole silence arc and stuff like that from series 6, and there are some silly episodes in there. But there was in the Christopher Eccleston area had the Slovene with the farting monsters with the zips in their head.
Yeah, it's true.
So this actually the villains in this are kind of a bit like the Slovene.
The peeling of the head.
Yeah, they have very many of the tropes of the Slovene without being comical and silly.
Yeah,
they have zips in their head and they've been stealing people's bodies, people in key positions that their planet to steal people in key positions of authority, and that's pretty much what the Slovenes' plan was, and the way they did it.
Yeah, actually, didn't notice that.
Recycling that plot, but with a more serious bent to it.
Yeah, but again, that was only like I feel like it was a lot less than in previous episodes. But perhaps I'm just tainted by that Robin Hood episode that stays in my brain. Yeah,
it was a bad episode. So. Another thing I thought that they were harking back to. Now, anybody that watches Doctor Who Rebrief, my series on reviewing older black and white episodes of Doctor Who from the very beginning, there was a serial of that called The Keys of Marinus, and in that, one of the episodes had a villain, which were these brains in jars with eyeballs on stalks. And at the time of doing the rebrief, I said, Stephen Moffat should take notes and bring those back.
Really good concept.
I think that could come back, and they were mind controlling people. Definitely. That... Stephen Moffat, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are, need to bring those back. Now these brains weren't named, but they were brains in jars with eyes, not on stalks. But I'd like to think that they are
just less 1960s budget and more 2000s.
I'd like to think they're either the same race, and he heeded my advice in the month between me releasing that and this coming out.
And he wrote it and filmed
and quickly, it was a quick production turnaround. Yeah. Or it's a very related species, and me and him are just on the same wavelength, and they're much like the Ood and the ones from the classic. Oh God, I've forgotten. Much like the Ood from the new series and the. What are they
called? I know which ones. I watched the episode with you guys, so I don't remember.
Begins with S.
Do what I do. He'll put it here.
Yeah, and those guys from an old black and white episode, who are from two planets next to each other, or in the same solar system. Maybe these guys are as well. Maybe the brains. Maybe there's a whole solar system of planets with people with brains on that are slightly different.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd think that. That'd be quite good.
I liked the female character in this.
Yeah, she was good. The reporter. She was good, and I liked her little romantic subplot. She was kind of enamoured with the superhero who is secretly her nanny, looking after her baby daughter.
/ best friend.
Yeah, / best friend from high school or something. And
the one who he levitated about when she walked past.
Yeah.
That one.
And she realises while having dinner with the superhero, through her own sort of talking, she realizes that actually she quite likes Grant, the real guy, but she doesn't realize they're the same person at this moment. So she kind of goes, but she basically goes, Grant is an amazing guy. He's a real superhero. She's basically defending Grant to himself. Which is quite good.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little resolution. And at the very end, there's a nice sloppy moment where he's revealed himself. He's in his standard gear, but without his fake glasses, and holding up this spaceship, which has almost crashed. And she goes something like, "I prefer you in your superhero outfit." And he thinks, with the symbol and stuff. But she just puts his glasses back on and goes, and because the superhero is him as a nanny. Yeah, that's quite cute.
That's sweet. The comedian that's played, I gather he was a robot?
Yes.
Or that he got rebuilt or something?
Matt Lucas, who was in last year's Christmas special, the one with River Song, which there were quite a few calls back to. I also like those.
Yeah, there was callbacks to River Song.
Basically, he's just spent the last 24 years having dinner with River Song in a restaurant and then left her for her to go off to die in the library.
I watched that episode.
Yeah.
I was looking off the page at the time, but just...
That was the last episode, so
okay.
That was last year's Christmas special. There's been no episodes between then and now.
Okay, I lied earlier on. That wasn't the last episode I watched. It was last year's Christmas special I watched.
And her butler-type assistant in that, the doctor went and... He's an android who lost his body, but the doctor's put him back together because he's a bit lonely since River has gone off to die in the library with David Tennant.
And Donna.
So yeah, very good Christmas special, I thought. They're not the best. I think there's been better, but there has certainly been worse. So
yeah.
So overall, I think we liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Excellent. Good. I might start watching Doctor Who again. Never know.
Well, it's back in April.
So
there we go. And if you like Doctor Who, do check out some more of my reviews of the classic old William Hartnell episodes in Doctor Who Rebrief. I will put the thing at the card, a link at the card at the end, and down below or somewhere on the screen, and you can click through to that. And also don't forget to go to Holly's channel where you can see us review Doctor Who in the Blood, the new novel that has just recently come out, and also check out her other book reviews of various fantasy fiction.
Not really various at this point in time. A lot of Sarah J Maas.
Thanks. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.